What's up? What's up? How is everybody doing? Welcome to RossonARI TV. We are live once again, and today I'm going to do my best, my most educated guess to do my predictions today. I'm going to do my predictions today, and then we will see whether or not I read the situation well. I want to hear your guys' predictions as well. I want to hear what you guys think, and we're going to document it. We're going to write it down in the community page, everybody's top five or top six. I want you guys to go there, write down what your top five, top six is. Today we're going to discuss why, you know, I've taken some of the decisions I've taken, and also whoever wants to share their point of view can also do that. But anyway, let's get started. First of all, let's get started with the fact that Bennacer is injured again, and another long injury, 3 months out, and that can be an issue, especially when our midfield really needs players of Bennacer's level. So that is definitely going to affect the performance of the team, which leaves us with the question, what do we do? Right now, there's a free agent called Rabiot. He wants a boatload of money, but he is available. He is someone that you can still bring in. Or you go with the Milan Futuro players. For example, the new guy from Ajax that just came in, Voss, you have Zeroli, you have Liberali. So you have three choices right there of midfielders that you could use that, in my opinion, should be ready to play for the first team. So I asked of the community. I think the majority of the community has said, what has the majority of the community said? The majority of the community has said the Milan Futuro. They'd rather see the Milan Futuro players play. Let me see where we are with the percentages here. So 85% want to see the Futuro players play. What's up, Kim? How you doing? What's up, Fadinho? What's up, Nico? How you doing? No to Rabiot. No to Rabiot. Promote Zeroli first. He earned it. I don't disagree. And this is where I think we have to complain a little bit when we speak about not developing youngsters. Well, this is the opportunity right now to develop youngsters. And I do feel it's a little bit of a, I think the Voss player coming from Ajax, I don't understand that signing. I mean, why not bring why are you putting another obstacle in front of the Futuro players? Our strikers, we have 3 strikers, so that means that Camarda is never going to see the pitch, maybe in the Champions League. Then now here we have the situation where Bennacer is out, and you brought in this Voss guy. But why not promote Zeroli? Zeroli is 19. He's going to be turning 20 soon. Like, Zeroli is ready to play Serie A. He's ready to do it, you know? There's absolutely no... And the other thing that why I really believe they should do it is because we ain't fucking winning the league. So might as well start giving the experience to the players. All right, we are not winning the league. And guys, yes, I did give you a little bit of a spoiler there, but I mean, it's part of the reasoning why. Just give these guys their time. Just give these guys their moment to shine. As far as the Rabiot, now I wouldn't be against Rabiot. I think Rabiot is a good player. He adds experience. He adds tenacity. He adds, a kind of tenacity that we lack. But I do agree with Nico. Let's develop the youngsters. Why are they there? Zeroli should be ready. Look at Brescianini, guys. Brescianini today, I just saw Brescianini play against Israel today. I saw Italy. He's a really good player. Like, why let them develop? Just let them develop. Give them space. Give them time. By the way, another great performance from Tonali and also Frattesi. Guys, I think when I was saying 40 million is a good price for Frattesi, the more I see Frattesi, the more I think 40 million is a steal for Frattesi. Frattesi is turning out to be quite the player. Quite the player. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this right here. Hey, miss you too, Totti Brotta. How you doing? Forza Milan. Inter, Napoli, Juve, Roma, Milan, if lucky. Fahadinho. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's get into the predictions, and let me tell you who I think is going to finish first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and really those positions there. So let's start with number one. For me, guys, number one, the favorites of the league based on what I saw this summer, which was a mercato, which I can say was humble. We're talking about Inter, guys. I'm putting Inter as favorites to win the Scudetto again. I did see their mercato as being not so, boastful as far as spending money, but they did bring in two very good players with a very already complete roster. And most importantly, what they did is they secured the environment with the renewals of Lautaro, Barella, and other players. You see, those kind of moves secure the environment. Everybody, they're safe. They're serious. That team is still on a mission, and that machine is still being preserved. It's being still taken care of, and they added two new pieces there that can help tremendously. Taremi is a fantastic finisher, a fantastic player, and Zelensky, to have in your midfield rotation Zelensky with Frattesi, Barella, Çalhanoğlu, Mkhitaryan, and Aslani, that's great. Inter obviously has the best roster. Inter has the best infrastructure. Inter has the best owners, not the best owner, the best management. Inter, do they have the best coach? They have one of the best coaches, but it's really the whole infrastructure that makes everything work, and they have really good players. So Inter has to be the favorite. Only they can lose it. Only they can lose it. And it's kind of been like this for the past, 5 or 6 years. Only they can lose it. So I'm sure here most people will agree there. Most people will agree with Inter being the favorites to win the Scudetto. And now let's go to the second. Now my second choice is there's a reason for it. Okay. So my second choice is Napoli. I think Napoli is going to finish second. And actually, the way I'm reading this, and I hope I'm right because otherwise I'm going to look terrible like an idiot. But the way I'm reading this is Napoli, in the end, got all the players that they needed for this for their mission this year. Their mission this year is to, honestly, with Conte, it is to challenge for the Scudetto and to finish in the top four. Go back into the Champions League. With that roster, with that coach, you have the obligation to finish minimum in the Champions League. So that's the mission. Now, Conte is the best coach in Serie A. He is the one with the best pedigree. He is the number one guy right now. He is the alpha dog of the coaches in Serie A. And he's got a really good roster with world-class players like Vicha Verasquilla, like Lukaku, who is a world-class player when it comes to holding the ball, protecting the ball, and also scoring goals. He's a great luxury for a team like Napoli. And of course, they have great players like Politano, Neres, Raspadori. So offensively, they're good. That they have their arsenal to score goals, and they have a lot of quality. Then the midfield, they got their McTominay, they got the two Scottish guys, They got Lobotka, who is world class. They got Anguissa, who is really good. They got Spinazzola. They got all their players, but most importantly, they have Conte, and most importantly, they don't have Europe. Hello, wake up, everybody! Napoli does not have Europe. Conte, who's already the best coach in the Serie A pedigree wise, all he has to do is prepare one game at a time in the Serie A. He's not even worried about Europe. He doesn't have to worry about managing players. He doesn't have to worry about turnovers. He doesn't have to worry about anything. He just has to worry about one thing, and that is the Serie A. And guys, the way I saw Napoli play against Parma, they were playing with that crazy intensity that Conte has his teams play with. One of the signature things of Conte is that his teams play with crazy intensity. And if he can play with that kind of intensity with those kind of players, he's going to win most games. He's going to probably win most games, and he's going to be a real contender because he doesn't have Europe. He only has Italy. Napoli has a huge advantage because they have a really quality team with a really quality coach, but only one competition to worry about. That's why I put them second. And I think that will ultimately prevail. The fact that they're just in Italy. If Napoli was also in Europe, I'd probably say something differently. But because they just have Italy to worry about, I think not only they can be second, but they can also challenge for the race at a certain point. Now, number 3, I have Juventus as number 3. And what I read out of Juve is that Juve is a project that still is a very strong project, a very serious project. The ownership is very serious. And the ownership is very serious for one specific reason, is that in the rebuilding of Juventus, right, what did they do? They went and got the best DS, Giuntoli. Keyword, the best. They went to get the best goalkeeper from last season. Keyword, the best. They went to get the best coach from last season. Keyword, the best. They tried to get Calafiori, one of the best. Keyword, the best. They got Coop Miners, one of the best midfielders of Serie A. Keyword, the best. And that best formula is what makes you the best. It's a very simple formula. 1 + 1 = 2. Best plus best equals double best. It's a very simple formula. So this is what Milan used to do. This is what Inter still does. This is what Milan used to always operate this way. It's just now that we're doing this algorithm moneyball shit. I don't know. A lot of people are getting bamboozled by the players we're getting. But anyway, they're operating like a serious club. But the thing about Juventus is that they do have Europe as well as Italy. And even though they have a deep roster, I don't know how easy it's going to be for Thiago Motta to manage Serie A, Champions League, because he has the obligation to win Serie A or to try and win Serie A, but he also has the obligation to do really well in Europe. I think it might be a little bit too much for Thiago Motta in his first season, and just these things here are making me think that they're going to fall behind Napoli. That Napoli is going to overtake Juventus simply because of the lack of Europe. And that's where I put Napoli. So Napoli 2, Juventus 3. Now, when it comes to number 4, this is where it's either Roma or Milan. It's one of these two. It's either Roma or Milan for me. I say one of the reasons why I say Roma is because when I look at that roster, it's a really good roster. That roster should be finishing in the top 4. Like, it is a roster good enough to finish in the top 4. It's a strong roster, but Roma has a very, very similar situation with Milan. Roma is run by similar owners to Milan, and it's not, they're not the most, let's say, knowledgeable owners. They're not the most trustworthy, serious. Let's use this word. This is a key word that needs to be used more often when we talk about football and eliteness. Seriousness. Roma's owners and management, they're not as serious as maybe what Juventus has, what Inter has, in particular those two. Napoli, I don't know how. De Laurentiis is a hit him. 1 year he's serious, 1 year he's not. So that's the thing. Milan, we are not a serious club. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and we're going to talk about that in a second. When I when I think about Milan right now, my concerns with Milan is that there has been a massive downgrade in personnel, in staff. The coach, we've downgraded the coach. We've downgraded the tactical system. We've downgraded the people that worked in the tactical department. I don't know if we downgraded the medical staff. I mean, shit. At least, hopefully, that's one thing that we can upgrade from, because it couldn't have been any lower than it was under Pioli. So if it's even lower under Fonseca, then we'll have to say that we downgraded there. We downgraded when it comes to owner. We downgraded when it comes to DS. We have downgraded when it comes to CEO. We have downgraded when it comes to that person that is supposed to bring that energy to the club, which was Maldini, and now they say it is Ibra. I don't know if it's Ibra. I think nobody can do what Maldini does. But so there's been a complete downgrade of our team. Then we have seen also that Theo Hernandez is not sure whether or not he wants to stay or not, which is more signals of an environment that is not very strong. I mean, Hernandez has not renewed. Hernandez has not renewed. And the last time Hernandez spoke about renewing, he said he wasn't sure. So, again, when we go back to Inter, Lautaro said, yeah, I'm renewing. No, 100%, I'm renewing. Barella, I'm renewing. Like, there's excitement, right? And boom, they get renewed. They get that big money. And that big money comes with big responsibility. And that's why they're going to perform stronger also. At Milan, they're not doing that. It's not a serious club at Milan. And the players perceive that. The players perceive that unseriousness, and it demotivates players. So for me, it's very normal to see Theo Hernandez come out in a press conference and say, I'm not sure if I want to renew with Milan. We will see. And then reports came out later on from journalists around Italy that through the grapevine, Theo Hernandez was wanting a move this summer, and he was hoping for a different league. He was hoping for a different country, a different league, different experience. But obviously that didn't come. The offers didn't arrive. And all of these things are very believable. They're very believable, and simply by the fact that of Hernandez words. And then we just had this new report about George Mendes, saying that George Mendes was looking to find a new club for Leao. Guys, George Mendes doesn't wake up during the day and say, okay, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to look for a new club for Leao. It doesn't work like that. If George Mendes was looking for a new club, all of you read those reports. If George Mendes is out there looking for offers, looking for a club, that means that he spoke to his client, and his client told him, yeah, look for offers, look for other solutions. So what does that tell you? Theo Hernandez, Leao, there's no confidence that these two guys want to stay. There are no signs of that. The reports that are coming out are saying the contrary. Both of these guys actually had a little episode that we saw a few days ago where they were taken out, and then they had that little episode where them two drinking water on the other side of the pitch. When you have your best players in this kind of condition, where they're not motivated, where they perceive weakness, and where they perceive a project that is not really up to their standards, up to their highest motivations, of course you're going to have an unstable environment. And the unstable environment is the result of a weak management that doesn't really know how to treat the football side. They know how to do the money thing. They know how to do money ball. They know to do algorithm ball. They know how to keep the balance sheets good and keep and do all of that. But when it comes to the sporting aspect, these guys are complete amateurs, and you can see it. You can see it with your own eyes, and you can see it really clearly. It's a very clear vision, how amateur the people that are running Milan are. I mean, just look at the first official thing Jerry Cardinale did. He scored a tremendous own goal by firing Maldini that way. His first move was separate the Milan universe in two. There are two factions. There's the pro Redbird, and there's the guys that are like, nah, we don't want any of this. That's the first thing your owner. That's a tremendous own goal. The first thing your owner does should be galvanize the whole fucking Milan universe with awesome things, maybe great signings, or. But instead, the first thing you do is you create a separation between the fans. I mean, look, this is who we are run. We're run by, unfortunately, very amateuristic people when it comes to the sporting sense. So I cannot even come to believe that Milan can build the mentality and build that locker room aggressiveness, that locker room sacrifice, that locker room belief to try and win the Scudetto. I mean, you need a very strong management. You need a very strong environment. You need a very strong environment in order to make these players believe that they are the best, that they can win it, that nobody can stop them. You need a very strong environment, and these players don't have that. So this is why I don't put Milan as a winner of the Scudetto. And I see the competition, and I see the competition have pieces that Milan just doesn't have when it comes to the whole, mostly infrastructure. Because when it comes to players, a roster, you can talk about Milan. You can say Milan has a lot of depth offensively now. We have Jovic, we have Morata, we have Abraham. Those are three good choices. All three of those players are international players. Abraham a little bit less because of his injury, but so there's depth there. When you look at the midfield, there's no depth in the midfield, and also the midfield. They did not address the problem with the midfield in the end. At the end of the day, they did not even address the problem with the midfield. They just brought in another Loftus-Cheek. Apparently, Fofana, as far as I know, as far as I've seen, Fofana is just another Loftus-Cheek. So we'll see. Hopefully Fofana does well. I really do hope that he can help the team. And yeah, Pavlovic is a good signing. He brings in, a more solid option in the defense right now. But, the other teams have reinforced as well. Plus, they have a much stronger ownership. And that's the problem. So what are you going to do? Look, a season is a marathon, all right? It's a 9-month competition, and you divide it in quarters. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. You know the strength of an ownership. You know the strength of an infrastructure by the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter is where the games matter the most. If you look at last season, our fourth quarter, it's all red, 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 green, red, red, yellow, red, 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 green, red, red. That tells you everything you need to know about how our management is. The fourth quarter is where everybody needs to fight to get points. The fourth quarter is where mentality is more important than the actual football that you play. The fourth quarter is where courage, personality is more important than double step overs, bicycle kicks, and rabonas and flicks and all of that BS. And that's where you see the strength of a club, in that fourth quarter. We saw what our fourth quarter looked like last year, and we're pretty much continuing that form. We're continuing the same form that we left off in the Serie A last year into this year. Now, it's not going to last forever. Eventually, we are going to win some games and get back on track. I mean, I think we're going to finish in the top 4. That means we're going to win plenty of games. That means that we're going to win most of our games. So obviously, if we continue like this, guys, we're going to Serie B. We ain't finishing fourth. We're going to Serie B if we continue like this. We're not going to continue like this. We're going to win games and we're going to get back on track. Um, that is normal. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the meat and potatoes, when it comes to that point of the season where you have to play with your soul, where you have to play with your head, where you have to play with your brain, where you have to play with your heart, where you have to sacrifice for each other and you have to give it your all and you have to go there with that belief, that there's nobody in this club that can do that for this team. Nobody. So there you go. There you go. And also another issue that I think sets Milan back is the preparation of the summer. Look at this summer. Did this summer tell you the way this summer was operated? Does this summer tell you, hey, we're going to go in and win the damn Scudetto? Did this summer tell you that? No. What did this summer tell you? This summer told you that what is most important for Redbird and Jerry right now is selling the AC Milan brand in America. That's the number one priority. As a matter of fact, just today, guys, a new collection of AC Milan Yankees collaboration clothes came out. So there you go. But that was the main priority of the summer, making sure that all the players were there, especially Pulisic, so they can get him on the shows, on the morning show, the afternoon show, the mid-afternoon show, the late afternoon, mid-morning show, and just get them in front of cameras and get them to play against kids, essentially, and then win against kids and then sell them as this amazing, super elite European team. Yeah, okay. So there are people that fell for that and people that don't, and luckily me and a lot of people here are part of that club that don't fall for that. Yeah, so that already there shows you what the focus is. I mean, this is why I ask, how can you put Milan in front of Juve when Juve, they said, no, we're not going to go to America. We don't want to do any tours. This summer, we just want to focus on getting a new coach, acquainted with the new players, and acquainted with a new system. We're going to stay here. We're going to focus on preparing the season. We don't need any of them tours. So just ask yourself, who is more focused on the results of the season? Mr. Brand or Mr. Let's stay at the training ground. Let's stay at the training ground and prepare the season. Same thing with Napoli, same thing with Inter. All these teams stayed local and they focused on preparing the season. They opted out from these tours. And probably they did also because of the international tournaments. I mean, most of the teams we played against did not bring their starters. Like Barcelona had maybe 3 or 4 first-team players. Real Madrid, they had a little bit more, but it wasn't all. They had a little bit more, yeah, but not. But they also had a lot of Primavera guys. Man City was almost all Primaveras. We had mostly our first team with some Primavera guys. Anyway, then when it comes to buying the players to give to the coach for the coach to prepare the season, the priority is not, let me get that player to you as fast as possible so you can start working on your plans. It's, no, we got to wait and save money. So at the end of the season, the newspapers are going to say Milan is the team that wins the balance sheet Scudetto, and all the Furlanisti out there are going to go out Piazza Duomo and celebrate, ole, 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 balance sheets, ole, ole, ole. And that's what we've got. That's what they want, and they're going to get that. There's going to be tons of people at the end of the season when Gazzetta dello Sport is going to write Milan is the team with the least debt or with the best balance sheets, and you're going to have tons of people celebrating that while we struggle to make top 4. So, man, Jerry wins. All he does is win. All this guy does is win. Anyway, so all of these factors here can't lead you to believe that AC Milan can be the winner of the league. And then again, let's look at the coach. Who did they choose as a coach? They chose a guy that has less pedigree than the previous coach, and that in Italy kind of became a meme. In Italy, he kind of became a meme. Um, and another thing that has come out through journalists at Milano, that the players perceive Fonseca as being not a strong personality. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's what a journalist said. That he knows about the atmosphere. But I think we all know this, right? We all know this. We all understand this. Listen, guys, let's be clear about something. Fonseca is not going to out tactic most of the coaches in Italy, but he does have players with more quality than the other teams. So he's going to have to rely on the quality of his players, not on his tactics, on the quality of the players. As far as tactics goes, Fonseca is nowhere near the top Italian coaches. Nowhere close. So he's already starting with a handicap. He's already starting with the fact that he is coming in as a coach that doesn't have much say, right? He doesn't have much say. He doesn't have much of voice. He's there to be a yes man. Already there, that the team perceives that as a weakness. He's paid a quarter of what Leao is being paid. So I mean, how do you get this coach to motivate, superstars like Leao, Hernandez, and whatnot? Now, one should say, well, it's their job and they should just do it. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. It's not that simple as just to say it's their job and they should do it. It's sport. It's a whole chain of command. It's a whole chain of work that needs to be done in order for the final expression to be at its best. It starts from the top all the way down to the middle, all the way down to the bottom. And it's a chain of command. It's a chain of events that need to happen properly, from the DS to the DG to the coach to the staff, the players. And Fonseca, how does Fonseca fit in all of this? I don't know. It's very, very difficult to be confident that this team is going to have what it takes to win the league. And this is, I'm not even judging the games that we just saw. We conceded 6 goals, whatever, but I think that is going to ultimately fix itself. But when it'll come to those moments in the season, right now, I don't see Milan being able to overcome those very difficult moments, because you need a strong management. You need strong people there. You need people that can bring that extra thing. I don't see Milan have that right now. All right. So I'm going to say Milan. I'm going to say Milan 4 and Roma 5. And that's going to be my top 5. Inter, Napoli, Juventus, Milan, Roma. And I guess I'm going to stick with that. Atalanta is also a contender. The thing about Atalanta, for all we know, could even win the damn league. But anyway, so you guys can say how much I got it wrong in 12 months from now, or 9 months from now, and then you can make fun of me in 9 months. But that's my top 5, guys. Let me get your top 5s. Let me see what you guys think is your top 5. And what I'm going to do, I want you to write it down in the community page. So I'm going to put out a message later on and put it and write it down there. All right, so that's my top 5. That's my final prediction is Inter, Napoli, Juve, Milan, Roma. All right, let's see what you guys got to say. We need Italian players. We have enough French players. Yeah, right. And they wanted to get Manu Kone as well. It's all France. Moncada knows only how to operate in France. Conte with his players with no European competition is a different animal. Yes, 100%. It will probably be neck and neck with Inter. I agree. I have a feeling that the top three teams will be neck to neck all season. I agree as well. Yeah. Milan status can change if they sign Sarri. I definitely agree with that. Things can definitely change with Sarri. Sarri will definitely give these players that push, that motivation, because Sarri comes with a certain aura. There's a lore to Sarri. There's a pedigree that comes with Sarri. He's a badass, and yeah, players will band against him or with him, around him. Hey Roy, would you do a collaboration in the future with Football Kush and Milan Channel guy? Yeah. Yes, I would. Absolutely, yeah. Roy, it's not just Leontel. The majority of the team is not motivated with Milan's project, especially under Fonseca as a coach, besides having the management, but are clueless when it comes to football. Yeah, and that is also true. I mean, of course, look at Bennacer. Bennacer knows he's not going to renew his contract. They already knew that they were not going to renew his contract. He is not a player that falls under the category of growth decree. He wants to leave. So we have a player that wants to leave. They kept him, and now he's injured. Now we have a void. So just a complete series of mismanagement after mismanagement. The Jovic operation was a complete mismanagement. Bennacer operation was a complete mismanagement. The midfield in general, again, I don't know if they really addressed the issues there. The whole summer was a mismanagement. It was just a series of mismanagements. Incompetent management with lack of ambition. Forza soccer, man. Kratos for life. Roy, can we expect Marcelo Milan, seeing as everything is going wrong on the footballing level of Redbird? Do they see Milan as having come to the moment where they will not benefit financially anymore? No, I don't think so. Also because, guys, the thing about football is that football changes the perspectives and perception by, it literally takes 90 minutes to change the perception. If Milan wins against Venezia all of a sudden, all of a sudden Redbird is okay. You're going to perceive a lot of that. So right now, because we're losing, it's all the fans that are pissed off. But as soon as we win again against, let's say, Venezia, or even if we win against Inter or we win against Liverpool, all of a sudden a big portion of the Milan universe is going to ignite and get galvanized, and they're going to go once again and chase the carrot, which is Redbird. So I wouldn't say that a sale is tied to the results that are happening right now. I think if a sale happens, it happens simply because the profit margins are right for Gianni Cardinale, and it makes sense for business. Gianni Cardinale is a businessman, and that's what his focus is business. So if the business for him to sell the majority stakes are right for him, he will do it. He has no attachment to AC Milan. We already saw that. We already know that. So whether or not we are winning or losing, it doesn't matter, in my opinion. Inter, Juve, Milan, Napoli. Okay, awesome. Guys, I'm going to put a community post later on and write down what you think on that community post. And while you're at it, click that like button, guys. Click that like button. Redbird's main interest is the new stadium project in San Donato. If this project fails, Redbird will definitely cash in and sell the club. Now, listen, I don't think they're going to go ahead with the San Donato project. I don't think so. And the reason why I don't think so is because it costs a lot of money. And they're still paying their vendors loans. So where are they going to get the money to fund the stadium, which costs up to 1.2 billion? Rather, buying the San Siro and renovating the San Siro is going to cost them around 300 to 400 million, and then they can share the expenses with Inter. So my opinion is that unless Jerry has 1.2 billion lying around ready to be invested in the stadium project, he's going to go ahead with that. But I don't think so. I just don't see that. I see him going the more affordable route and and buy the San Siro, renovate the San Siro, because that's what the city is pushing. The city is pushing for them to buy the San Siro, and also there's a lot of forces that are voting against the San Donato Stadium. So things to know. It goes to show and says it all. Redbird and Jerry are not serious at all. It's pathetic. They even did a collab with the Yankees and released shop items that have the Milan logo with a huge New York in it. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I mean, hey, dude, he's making money, bro. You can't. Hey, he's hustling, dude. He is hustling, man. You can't hate the game. In a month or so, we're going to find out if we're staying at San Siro or building a new stadium. Yeah. Is it going to be a month? The thing is, I want the stadium so bad, but I can't stand this management anymore. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. To me, that is already showing the disrespect and not being so serious at all. People would be absolute stupid enough to buy any of the items and give money to those morons. Please bring me Maldini. I'm going with a Fajadinho top 5. Okay, so we all three of us pretty much agree, or what? Let me see. What did the Fajadinho have? Fajadinho had. Let me check. Inter, yeah. Okay, so I just have a Milan, Inter, Napoli, Juve, Roma, Milan. Yeah, I just have Milan over Roma, but we pretty much agree there. Yeah, and then Andrew Gibson has Inter, Juve, Napoli, Milan, Roma. Chris has Monza, Como, Bologna, Futuro, Milan. By the way, guys, Maldini's been looking good against Fiorentina. He looked really good. They had the varsity jacket in the store with AC Milan on the front, and on the back of it, a huge Yankees. Wow, 433 Australian dollars. Lord have mercy, guys. These guys are making money. You know that's the thing that about Milan is that Milan already has built so much history that it's already a brand that has so much weight on its shoulders because of its history, global history, international history, that it's kind of easy to exploit and turn it into a Yankees kind of thing, or how they did with PSG. I just wish they would give a shit about the sporting aspect as well. Edison has Juve as winners. Wow. Inter, Napoli, Roma, and Torino. That's crazy. Torino in the top 5. Where is Laird? Guys, Laird is, I think Laird has given up. Guys, I think Laird has given up. I believe Laird has officially given up. He wants an apology from the people that disrespected him when he predicted all of this shit to happen. The people that went against him haven't apologized to him. He's unmotivated. He doesn't care about this ownership. He's boycotted Milan. Laird is taking a firm stance. They have rebuilt the midfield last season and they made mistakes. They had this year to fix it and they also failed. It's a ship job they did. Yeah. Bennacer out for 3 months. Correct. 3 months. Time for Zeroli or Voss or Liberali. Liberali can play that position maybe. Where is Ibra? Manor started to wake up and calling him out on his IG post recently. He's going to have to disable comments, isn't he? He's going to have to disable comments soon. Who needs to apologize to Laird? I don't know. A lot of people. Apparently. Let's see if it's still convenient for them to sell the club if 2 years from now they're still held hostage by the Italian judicial system and construction on the stadium grounds. It's on standby due to attempts from the mayor to classify it as a natural reserve. Yeah, there you go. They are doing everything in their power to make sure that he can't build the stadium. Blue John, for sure. Red John is one of them, for sure. RossonARI TV, that's why I taken a break from my pod. I'm close to quitting. No, man. Yeah. Are you playing FIFA tonight? I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't think so. It is possible. It is possible. Okay, so yeah, I mean, what are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? As far as these voices regarding Maldini, I don't. I'm not really putting too much thought into it. You know, if it happens, it happens. These reports were there last time as well, and you know, it would be great to see Maldini back with the Saudi investors, because you know that with Maldini and Saudi investors, you have a really serious project. You have all of a sudden, you know, we're not doing the 20 million Moneyball operation anymore, but we're getting, you know, top level players, and we're building like a serious solid team, and we're doing things the proper way, and we are giving the team the proper DNA, the proper motivation. And you know, a project led by Maldini is a project that is 100% guarantee gold, platinum, diamond, gold, and with a proper backing, for meaning, what is a proper backing? An ownership that doesn't use Milan to make money off of the brand, but rather an ownership that wants to use Milan to elevate their status by winning trophies, and by winning by, you know, the glory way. And you give that project in charge of Maldini, he's going to turn Milan into a top level team, 100%, no doubt about it. 100%. There's absolutely no doubt about it. You can take that to the bank. You can take that to the bank, and you can lock it up. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But we'll see. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, we'll see what happens. 4-3-3. No, in my opinion, it should be three at the back. I think. Look at Italy. Italy now has three at the back, and it's exactly the same as Italy. Milan has to do exactly what Italy has done. Follow Spalletti. Spalletti is not a connoisseur of three at the back. He's not his favorite formation. Spalletti is a 4-3-3 guy. Spalletti likes to play with a lot of his players in the opposition field. But what did Spalletti do? He looked at the pool of players he has. He understands what he has to work with, and he made the right decision. Three at the back. All of a sudden, Milan, here it is, Italy beating France and playing good football. What is the sense of buying that relic of the stadium? Well, it's not just a buying it, it's also renovating it. So they want to renovate it as well. That comes off as a little weak on the negotiation table. What does? I'm not sure what you mean. You saw Raheat recently video with Kush. I just not really. Imagine Maldini coming back with Saudi investors taking over Milan, bringing Milan back to the winning path. That would be a great documentary for Netflix, The Return of the King. Yeah, 100%, 100%. That would be fantastic. Because Maldini will bring in like people, you know, people with personality. He'll bring in people that are intelligent. He'll bring people that know how to navigate the football world. And Maldini has so much clout. He has so much. His clout is currency, and it's a very, very, very extended level of currency, and he can use that to his advantage, like he did. We're talking about one of the most respected people in the sport ever. Maybe ever. Maybe the most respected person in the sport ever. The only people that don't respect him are some Curva Sud fans who have infected other people with that virus. But in the footballing world, this guy is considered almost a god level. I mean, Jesus, look at Thierry Henry, right? Look at how he behaved when he saw Maldini. Like, you see it, all these players, you know this, and you see this, judge him by the reaction of other players when they see him, or other personalities when they see him. That Thierry Henry segment there with Michael Richards and Jamie Carragher, like, that tells you so much right there. Like, Thierry Henry is like looking at Maldini as if he's Elvis Presley, you know? I mean, this is the kind of effect this dude has built for himself. And it's such a valuable currency. It's such a value. It's like he's a diamond amongst I don't know, whatever other type of gems. And when you have the opportunity to have that diamond in your club, you take it. Why not? That's how you are the best, by having the best. What's your prediction for the next game against Venezia? I'm expecting a win against Venezia, because if we lose against Venezia, then I think already there, then that's it, season over. If we lose against Venezia, season over. If we win against Venezia, it's going to give us a little bit of a slingshot to go into the Liverpool match with. But now the Liverpool match is, you don't need a coach to motivate you for the Liverpool match. You don't need coaches. You need coaches to prepare the game, but not to motivate you. So the players will be motivated going into Venezia because of the Liverpool match, I think. I am expecting a win against Venezia. I mean, shit. If we can't win against Venezia, guys, it's over. Season is finito. It's finished. Finished right there. Hey, Roy, we should rate the market of the top teams. Okay, we'll do that. We'll probably do that. Stop glazing. I'm not glazing. I'm observing. This is an observation. I'm observing how he's perceived by the people, by his colleagues, and it's an observation. It's a fair observation. It's an observation that not only Milan fans have. Like, literally every you go when you go and see Maldini's interviews. First of all, the thing about Maldini is that one thing I got to say about Maldini is that the language thing is always is a little bit of a, I don't know, I wouldn't say a barrier, but it hides a few things. Like, for example, when you see Maldini do his interviews in Italian, the guy oozes class. He is class, just class. You can just tell he's an extraordinary person, and it's an observation, and you see it, and you can see it by the things he says, and the history and the things. But what you see is not the reaction. Is the reaction of the Interisti, the Juventini, the Romanisti, the Laziali, the Fiorentini. Everybody, every fan base is there. If there's one guy I wish played for my team, even if he played for Milan, he's my favorite, blah blah, because that's who he is. That's the reputation he built, and having that man in the club, it does wonders for the motivation of the players, for the seriousness of the project. Again, the key word is seriousness. Maldini brought seriousness, and that's what you need. Seriousness. That's what players love. That shit. Players love it when you know you're going into war, and you're going in all in. You're going all in. Players fucking love that shit. It's easy to motivate players when they know that at the helm you have someone as serious as Maldini. They love that shit. They feel it's the nature of competition. So honestly, it's not glazing. It's objective observation. It's an objective observation. Roy should not be called an analyst. Analysts test their ideas, coaching, or working as real analysts in a club. Analysts test their ideas, coaching, or working as real. He's a Twitter analyst. How is Fonseca coaching Milan? I don't know, like a U16. We need to evolve with the laws, and the government must let the sports and the clubs grow. They will gain more in the future. I mean, it's not so simple. It's not so simple. Obviously, Milano, if you need to do a big project like that, you need to get permissions from a lot of people, from local business owners, from residents, from the Green Party, from the environmental, from the people of Milano. Do they want the stadium in the town or not? So there's a lot of factors there. It's not so simple to just say we should evolve because, I mean, are you just going to build something without the permission of other people? I mean, I don't know. It's not so simple. A loss or tie is unacceptable. Yeah, tie would also be really bad. Recently, Joj threw a Milan themed birthday party for his son. That's nice. That's cool. That's good. If we can win next match, then Fonseca must be fired right away. If we can't win the next match, yeah, and if that happens, we'll discuss that for sure. For me, Sarri is an obvious choice. Is Rabiot coming to Milan? I don't know. I am rooting more for giving the Futuro players a chance because, for me, at least, in all of this darkness, there is a little bit of a bright spot, which is the Futuro project and the Futuro players. I would like to see that happen rather than seeing Rabiot take those places. Rabiot seems to be rejected by Milan. His mother is his agent, and she wants more. Yeah, they went crazy amount of money. It absolutely, it's crazy how much money they want. It makes no sense. All right, guys. So that will be it for today. We're going to cut it here. 1 hour. It's really all I could have done today. Their ego won't let them fire Fonseca without creating a narrative. Yeah, if we get to that, we will discuss that. I don't know if we're going to fire him. I mean, I don't. My guess is no. But if he loses against Venezia, they won't fire him. They'll stay with him. They'll stick with him. They'll probably stick with him. But then again, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how Jerry would operate in this kind of scenario. He's never done it before. He's never experienced a scenario like this before. So Jerry is completely, he cannot swim, and he is in the deepest part of the ocean right now. And so I honestly have no idea how he's going to handle this situation. Obviously, it's going to be up to him and his advisors, but he's going to make the final decision. So I honestly don't know. I don't know what to guess. I can't predict Jerry. If we can't win next match, Fonseca must be fired right away. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to put on the community tabs your who you think is going to finish top 5 and put it there so we have it down for the record, and then in 9 months we can show screenshots of who got it wrong and talk shit about whoever got it wrong. And yeah, so let's do that. All right, so watch out for that. But guys, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate it. See you next time. Forza Milan. And we will do a preview to the Venezia game, and that's where we'll talk about the markets, the top team markets. All right, guys. Peace out. Ciao.